Hello, my friends. We thank God for another opportunity to be here on the WOW Facebook forum, and thank you for making time to join. Well, I think some weeks ago I posted something on submission and treating your husband as a leader in the house and how I even handle all these things in my house. I know somebody was like, he can't believe I say I'm quiet sometimes in the house. I'm like, what do you mean? I talk everywhere. But when it comes to marriage, however you portray yourself outside, sometimes you have to be a little bit different in your home, because if you're just going out there, bringing whatever you do out there in your house, you might have difficulties. So sometimes, I keep quiet. So I like being quiet, but if that is what is going to bring peace in the house, I will. So today we want to talk about respect in marriage. How do we respect each other in the house? Is it only the lady who's supposed to respect the husband, or is both ways? So to help us in this discussion, I have my dear lovely big sister here. In fact, she was my senior in the university, so respect to her. And then she is also a pastor. I'm not going to say much about it. I'm just going to go straight to introduce my senior sister here, Madam Grace. Welcome to our Facebook forum.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for making time to do this. I just want you to introduce yourself. I know I said a little bit, but just tell us about who you are, Madam Grace.
Thank you, Sarah. So like she said, my name is Grace. Actually, my name is Mrs. Grace.
Grace.
And yes, by God's grace, I'm a lady pastor because my husband has been ordained as a pastor. And we did go to university together, and we all came here to do our masters. And I've been married for 5 years. Actually, coming in July is my 5 years anniversary. So God has been good. And
congratulations!
Thank you.
And you have a beautiful, handsome boy. Yeah.
Thank
you so much. I don't know whether I should call it Pastor Grace or Mrs. Grace, but Lady Grace, thank you so much for coming. So as I said in our introduction, we want to talk about respect in marriages. Mm-hmm. And you said you've been married for 5 years, right?
Yep.
Well, I believe it's been like this, or has it been all smooth for you? Well, I believe we'll get there. But before we start the ball roll, I just want to ask you, is it possible to love somebody and not respect them? Can that happen?
Well, I can say you can love somebody and not respect the person, but it's a very dreadful ground to be.
How does that play? How can you love somebody and not respect them?
Because I was actually reading on something about respect. First, to take it off, marriage is very important to me.
Sure.
Everybody who knows me knows that marriage is I love marriage. It is a beautiful thing God made, and so I love reading about marriages and how to make your marriage work. So respect is one of the backbones, the cornerstones of marriage, right? So I was reading about respect in marriage, and the person said respect in marriage is just simply defined treating your spouse with like treating your spouse courteously, being okay with who they are and making sure they feel appreciated for being who they are. That is just respect. And I read it, I was like, really? You put it so simply. So simply, but then it's work on each person's part to respect. And I did say that you can love someone without respecting the person. And then again, I brought in but. And that is because if you don't respect somebody you love, then
your love is questionable.
It's not deeply founded. And anything that is not deeply founded can anytime with any little pressure crumble along the way. So you can love, but I don't believe anybody wants to tread cautiously. Tread anyhow.
Yes.
You want to make sure you're doing the right thing all the time. So you love and you respect at the same time. And respect, for instance, if I go out there and I see a pair of shoes, I can fall in love with the shoes, right? But if I fall in love with the shoes and I don't have any need for the shoes, I don't see the shoes playing any role for me. I'm not gonna value the shoes, even though I love how the shoes look. It's the same thing. I can love somebody, but if I don't respect the person for who they are or what they are, then I'm not gonna.
value.
There's no value. There's no value in there. So that is respect.
So I can say that if you are disrespecting your spouse, then that means that you don't value them.
We don't.
Because you might go about saying, "Oh, I love him, I love her," but then in your heart or looking at other things, their value is less. Like you don't value them in any way. So that's a good point. So now we are turning it to your personal life.
Sure.
How has respect played in your marriage life, or even before you got married? Has anything changed?
Before I actually come to my personal life, my mom, may her soul continue to rest in peace.
Amen.
She's the most humble and respectful person I've ever met. Like when I was young and I wasn't married, myself and my siblings, we used to get angry at my mom because she held my dad like an egg. Like, you know, the respect was there, and that my dad was an accountant. He didn't used to come home early, but my mom would go to bed. When my dad comes home, she'll wake up from bed, make sure his food is served. And even if my dad is sitting this side and the glass of water is just by my dad, she'll walk over, pick the glass of water and give it to my dad. There were times we used to complain. We told her, "You're making my dad lazy." Like, exactly. I mean, he's a man. Like, let him do something for himself. Come on. But growing up, I realized that she wasn't just doing it for herself. She was doing it for her marriage and for the family as well. Because, like you said, how has respect played for me? I think when you respect your husband, the first thing that happens is that he loves you back. That is the first thing. That is the first result you see. Your husband loves you unconditionally. When his husband loves his wife, the home is peaceful. And when the home is peaceful, the children grow up in an atmosphere of love and peace, and wherever they are, you can tell this child has no burden. This child has no worries. This child is, and I am who I am because my parents gave me that atmosphere, and so that is what I'm bringing into my marriage. So you don't respect your husband because you want. First of all, it's as a woman, it's an instruction given to me by God. The Bible
That
said,
is what most people don't want to accept these days.
the Bible said, respect your husband. The husband should love you like himself. If you want your husband to love you, it's simple. It's a give and take affair. Actually, when I was reading on respect, it says there are 4 things about respect. It's mutuality, reciprocity, accommodation, and acceptance. And looking at how this has played in my house, my home, actually, I think it is true. Respect is mutual. If I respect my husband, he'll respect me. And it's reciprocal. It's a give and take affair. If I treat him anyhow, he will treat me anyhow. But if I respect him, if I accommodate who he is for what he is, from where he's
And
coming
you
from,
value him for
that is, once you can accept something you don't value.
Exactly.
If I don't accept your friendship, I'm not going to value your friendship. Once I make my decision that I want to be your friend, there's that value there. I place a value on that friendship. That is why I've accepted to be your friend. So once I have chosen, it's a choice we all make to be a married woman, to say, yes, I do. So once I've made that choice, then I value him as my husband. So I have to respect him.
That's very
I think that is the basis. If we all want to know what respect is, first off, God says respect your husband. If we come to terms with that, I think it's not going to be as difficult. And before I was talking to you about something you posted on Facebook, right? And I think I saw another comment by Mrs. Marfo.
Yes.
That if we respect our husband, like
You have
she
an
being
influence.
exactly.
Yeah.
The husband is the head, but the wife's at the neck. If the neck doesn't turn, the head doesn't move. It's
Exactly.
so we
control.
exactly. So then it's let him be the boss. And I was listening to Joyce Meyer. is that how to pronounce Maya, or yeah.
Yes, Mia.
But just yeah. And she said your husband should be the most valuable person in your life. Your president, your king, your everything.
So president too.
So if he's your king, if let's just put it, even let's you went to church today, right?
Of
yes.
course.
If I see my pastor coming to my house, I'm gonna prepare for him. I'll get a plate.
Some even go and
Exactly.
get a bow and all that.
Your husband is more than your pastor.
Let's just pause on that one. Now I want to ask you, how do you feel respected in your homes? You know, I asked this question because I've spoken to some wives, and they're like, my husband is controlling. My husband is this. My husband doesn't listen to me. So I want you to speak on behalf of women, wives, and tell a husband listening to us. And a friend of mine was like, I do everything for her, and I don't know what she wants. What does she want again? And I was like, there's something she wants. I want you to speak on behalf of the women. How do women feel respected in their homes?
Like I said, the first thing a woman would see that you respect her is the love you give her. If you love a woman and you let her feel she's loved, she's your priceless possession. She's the only thing you want to pursue. She's the only woman you see. She's the only flower in your garden.
Only cockroach in your cupboard.
let her feel valued. Let her feel accepted. If you love your woman and you make her feel that is how you appreciate her.
So is that how women define respect? When they feel loved?
Women is what we see and feel. We are very emotional. So if my husband comes in and every time, from how he treats me, how he takes care of me, I know he loves me and he respects me. And then secondly, if my husband communicates with me what his plans are, shares with me, and not only talks to me but actually listens to me when we are making any decision, at that point I feel I'm respected. Because he values my opinion.
Your opinion is good.
He values my opinion. So him talking to me, sharing with me, and then listening to me.
Okay.
And
I
then
hope,
again,
men, you are listening. She's talking for us. So.
And then again, when he supports me in everything that I do, in terms of work, in terms of anything I'm pursuing. I remember the last time I was going to write an exam. I think both of us have written that exam. And the night before, I went late the Friday and I was writing the exam the Saturday. And once I was tired, I got home and he was like, is everything okay? Are you set for the exam? I said, oh yeah, I just need to put my pencil case. He came on, picked my pencil. When looking for a sharpener or a blade or something, he came back and said, this is the pencil, I've sharpened it for you.
Nice.
Is your eraser intact?
At that point,
at that point, it was something little he did, but sharpening my pencil for me to go and write my exam. But it spoke volumes. That
That's
means
nice.
he respects the cause I'm taking.
Exactly.
He's supporting me in what I'm doing. And that is the respect I get.
Exactly. We women, yes, someone you're dealing with. We're not difficult.
But
the men will go
just
and ask for women.
show.
Show,
Show is the key word. Show.
Like you've said it all. We want to
Sure.
wrap up. I just want, if you don't mind, you said your mom used to, serve your dad. Even when she's awake, she wakes. She's asleep. She will wake up, bring the glass. In 21st century, we all have our master's degree. Some people have done their PhD and all that. Maybe you have your PhD, your husband doesn't even have a first degree or have a first degree, and you're like, "Men are for fuck up." You want me to serve you, even bring your cup. But that is what your mom did, and you saw the difference. So, what do you do? Maybe you can give us 2 examples, and don't lie. Tell us 1 or 2 things you do that you think, anytime I do this, I see the difference in my husband's behavior.
I'll say, I remember when I came here, I think it's almost 5 years ago, yeah. I was talking to him and I was like, Swim Patrol sitting. And there was somebody in my house. When my husband went into them, she was like, hey, it sounds funny, but I was surprised the person asked me.
Me patrol is please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Please. So she just couldn't bring herself to terms with the fact that, first of all, I'm doing my master's. Both of us have the same degree. We are working. Then I wasn't working. I was still in school. But in this, like you said, in this 21st century, you're saying please when you're talking to your husband. I mean, who does that?
Wow.
Who does that? But that was just by the way. But personally, I think it is how you talk to him. It is how you talk to him that shows the respect. That has worked for me.
That's worked for you.
So the tone, the mannerisms, and the context, like how you set up the stage to even if it has to do with his food or whatever. Oh, please, I'm done with your food. Come and eat. That is one. Then another way. Same telling him your food is ready. Oh, so your food is ready. Can you come and eat?
I feel loud. Oh, nice.
Just
nice.
by the little touch and the little soothing way.
Yeah.
Soothing is a new term we have in church. So,
Okay.
so the little soothing way, tell him that his food is ready. Would
ready.
even make him want to go and eat the food.
That's nice.
And then again, how you make him feel at home as the leader of the house. Like I was saying, he's the king of the house. The house is his comfort place. He goes to work, he comes back home. This is the place he has to relax and free his mind and everything. So showing him respect is making him feel welcomed in his own home.
So
When he comes back from work, the joy with which you receive him, you respect, it shows how much you value him, and that is what respect is all about. He comes home, how you talk to him, how you treat him. I think, not to say a lot, but these are the few things that is actually
thank you,
for me, so.
Pastor. Is there any last word as we wrap up? And she said a lot. She talked about the fact that how women feel loved. Like you support us, you share your dreams with us, you listen to us, and then she talked about how she shows respect to her husband, respect, saying please, and her mannerism. If there was any final word to somebody listening to us who is always fighting the husband in a way, what do you have to tell? And both ways, even to the men.
Well, I think most of the things I've said is from my perspective as a woman. So for the men, one thing I would like to say is that if you want to show your wife that you love her, appreciate who she is. Don't talk bad about her to anyone else. Sometimes it might not be intentional. You're saying something and your wife is coming and you say, oh, hey, madam is coming. Hey, the old woman is in the house. Who is the old woman? Who is the old woman? She's your wife. Tell them, my wife is, even that, my wife, you own her. She's from your ribs, my wife. Say it boldly. Let her know that she's your wife.
Brag about her.
Thank you. Thank you. Pursue her. Show her. Like I said from the beginning, the woman is all about the show. Show me. Show me.
That's nice.
Respect her. Listen to her. Women will talk, but the one sentence you take out of the 10 sentences I made, that shows me that you're listening to me.
You're listening to me.
So even if it's just one word you took out and you say it back to me, I know you are listening to me. So listen to us.
Thank
And
you.
do not compare us to any other woman.
Thank you.
I am the best. That is why you chose me. If you knew that lady had whatever you are comparing me to, you would have gone for it, but you chose me. So
Treat
please,
me as such.
do not compare me. I am who I am. Take me for who I am. and let's move on. And then for the ladies, I was reading, like I said, I like to read, so. And then there was this survey about men, why men actually want to, like, how do they feel when their wives respect them? And then one said, anytime the wife respects him, he feels like he's not a failure and that he can never be a failure. Why? Because when you respect him, you make him feel like, oh, my wife thinks I can do everything.
Yes.
I can be a plumber, I can be a welder, I can be everything she wants me to be because she knows I can do it. So just by showing him that, oh, this thing is, can you help me? Like, you trust, you trust him that he's that kind of person. And then once you respect him, you make him feel that he's in charge.
He's in charge. Good.
You make him feel he's in charge. And indeed, he's the head.
Let him be the king he was made to be.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been wonderful chatting you. It's been wonderful chatting you. I enjoyed every bit of it, and I have learnt a lot myself. And I'm hopeful that our friends who are watching us, those who have their degrees and their masters and their PhDs, will know that we are doing it. Therefore, they can also do it. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for making time to watch Wow Facebook Forum today. Have a good day.